Hi there everyone, it is currently the 17th of September 2011, and out here in the Western Pacific we do still have these two areas in the tropics we continue to watch today. We have Tropical Storm Saka actually out here towards the east, heading up towards Iwo and Iwo Jima here as well. We have Tropical Storm Roke. Now we're going to zoom in on Tropical Storm Roke here, as this is actually affecting some land areas right now, just drifting just off the east coast of Okinawa currently. It is packing winds of about 45 gusting up to 60 knots right near the center of circulation. Also, I do want to note the circulation has become more developed here in the last about 12 hours. Actually starting to see more convection near the center of the system, and that's indicating some intensification that's going on right now. It is sitting under a low shear environment currently, so that's going to continue to allow this warm core low to develop, but also sea surface temperatures exceptionally hot out here as well. So really it does look like it does have a chance for intensification here over the next 24 to 48 hours. Current forecasts do indicate it to go upwards of about a strong tropical. And what that means is that the wind event with the system may not be the worst problem out of it. Yes, it is going to be fairly gusty there, and I definitely would recommend anybody up here in Okinawa and especially Naha to tie down any loose objects, because any of those can cause debris and could injure people out there. But really the rainfall is going to be a major player into the system, and already is farther up towards the north around Shikoku and Kyushu and towards the Kii Peninsula. Actually up here in Kochi, Shikoku, we did see reports of over 150 millimeters of rainfall in the past 24 hours. Now Kochi's right here under this red banding rating here from the radar, actually indicating those red bands, and that's showing the higher amount of precipitation. Actually 80 millimeters an hour is what's being indicated here in some of those possible areas. So that's some very heavy precip, and also noting that thunderstorms are very likely out here. Actually just showing JMA's prediction on thunderstorm activity out here. Some of these areas fairly active and high, upwards of 3s and 4s here on activity scale out here towards the right. And just noting a 4 is indicating a lot of lightning strikes around central Japan here. So that is another thing that is going to be a major player in this storm as it does continue to swirl down here towards the south. A lot of that outflow continues to push up towards the north and creating those heavy areas of precipitation. So all in all, Tropical Storm Roke is affecting much of Japan right now, but that's what's currently going on. I'm sure everybody wants to know where this system is going. Well, right now it is very stationary because it's in a weak steering flow environment. Now what that means is nothing's really pulling on it at this time, or nothing's really pushing it to go anywhere. But here in the next several days, by early next week, a trough low pressure is going to start to come out of the north here, and it's actually lingering right in this region here. And we're indicated by this green line right in here. That's kind of indicating that trough of low pressure, and that's going to grab Tropical Storm Roke here and pull it off towards the north, and then eventually the northeast up towards Honshu, where it'll go extratropical rather quickly. Now this is just showing some of the model guidance. A lot of it's clustered right around this area here just east of Okinawa. It's going to continue to linger there, as already stated, throughout the weekend and into the early part of next week before it gets picked up by that trough. But once it does, it's going to jet really quick off towards the north, and this is just showing no gaps outlook on this. They're actually taking it off towards the west here, towards the east coast of Japan, and also showing GFS. Also both of these are very reliable models, taking it just off the east coast and remaining out to sea. That would be very good news because the forward motion on the system is going to be rather fast. So if much of the Kanto plane remains in the left front quadrant, those wind speeds are going to be cut down a lot instead of it remaining in the right front quadrant, because then you get to count the forward motion of the storm into the fact of the sustained winds actually with the rotating part of the storm. So for example, if you have a rotation of a counterclockwise rotation of 15 knots and you have a forward motion of 10 knots, that wind speeds within the storm could be upwards of 25 knots. That's just a simplified version of what I'm trying to talk about. So GFS would definitely be a much better track regardless of it remaining offshore. But that could definitely change, as model guidance has been rather off with this storm. That is quite unusual to have model guidance that far off, but this is another tool I like to use. It is a streamline analysis, and with the streamline analysis you want to follow the overall background flow, and if that is the case, it's going to take the storm off towards the north, towards southeastern Japan, Shikoku, and eastern Honshu here, and that could cause some problems because all these areas in here are already being affected by rain. But also 2 weeks ago I got affected by Typhoon Tala, us as well. So definitely this area does not need a track to go in that direction, but that is kind of what this analysis is indicating. Also do want to note on this analysis, you also have Tropical Storm Sanka. Now if you want to follow the flow on this one, it's pretty accurate on the fact that it is going to take it off towards the north and eventually recurve off towards the northeast as it gets wrapped up in the westerlies here around this area of high pressure off towards the east. So really good news as far as that. It really does look like it's going to stay away from the east coast of Japan, but that does not take away from the fact that this storm is really going to run right up the coast. So even though this one's kind of missing Japan overall, you're still going to be seeing some heavy weather associated with Roke. But this is JTWC, or the Joint Typhoon Warning Centers out of Pearl Harbor's forecast. They do have it stationary here, and then they expect it to turn and head quickly off towards the northeast as well, with the max winds on it about 60, gusting up to 75 knots as it starts to go extratropical and really starts to pick up speed as it hits those westerlies. Meanwhile, JMA keeps a little bit weaker with a max intensity of about 55 knots or 30 meters per second before it starts to head off towards the northeast. But the main difference between the two tracks is that JMA is pointing it here towards eastern Honshu and Shikoku, as that streamline analysis would kind of indicate. So this could be a likely track, but the other good news is that hopefully this system will become elongated as it gets wrapped up in the westerlies here, and hopefully that would reduce the gradient a little bit. But really we're just waiting on this trough of low pressure to run off of Korea here and out towards the Sea of Japan and pick that up and shoot it off towards the north. So definitely going to continue to watch this storm as it does start to develop over the next 24 to 48 hours, looking at that precipitation still as it continues to linger out there. But that is all for right now, everyone. I do want to stress that this is just my thoughts and analysis on this storm. If you want to, just make sure you check JMA or JTWC for those official forecasts and outlooks on these systems. Also, I do want to note, if you are being warned to do any type of volunteer evacuations, always heed those as well, and always play it safe than sorry. But stay safe out there, everyone. Hope you have a great day, and I'll likely have another update tomorrow. Bye.